Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome. It's a new season, season 21, and we arrive in Formula 2 as the reigning F6 champion, but driving with many familiar faces such as Bankai Bullet, our title rival from last season, Sneaky Ninja, our teammate from last season, and Don Silver, who we didn't really see much last season, but he was there. Austria is going to be the first track of the season. Last season didn't go too well for me. It was one of my 3 disaster classes, all of which are on the calendar again actually, Mexico and China. But I'm back for vengeance. I want to win. I want to set off my championship hopes with a bang and get on the front foot against Bankai, against Sneaky, who's got a win under his belt now, so we'll probably have a lot more confidence going into the season. And we're going to start our first qualifying lap in just a moment, and we're going to see where it puts us. We're currently 2,000ths behind Bankai on a 103.081, so we shouldn't need too much improvement to take provisional pole. To turn 1, braking as late as we can, very smooth. We see we've missed the apex there. We are up on our previous one, but there's definitely another half-tenth in that, but I can't complain too much if you're green. Now turn 2 was flat, turn 3 very nice there, pretty much nailed that to be honest. We've gained about half a tenth on our best time. Now down to turn 4, probably the hardest corner on the track to be honest. Early apex, we had to go to second gear, we turned in a bit early, a bit too much speed on entry. You can see through that long left we've gained quite a bit, and now this chicane where we died last season. Very nice, and we're gaining all the way up to the penultimate corner, and this makes or break your lap. Pretty darn good through there. Now the final corner, very good through there, just about kept it in the lines. It wasn't actually as good as our last one somehow, but a 102.923, which was in fact pole position by quite some margin, a tenth and a half at Bankai Bullet, and he was actually blocked on his final lap, so I'm not sure if he would have improved. But then we've got GTX and Sneaky Ninja almost 3.5 tenths behind us. Top 4 you could probably have written down as you guessed before, and you'd have probably been correct. Don Silver down in 14th, which is to be expected. So the lights are coming on now for what I can spoil will be quite a good, exciting race to be honest, and the lights go out and we're expecting Bankai to probably be ahead heading into the corner as he's on the pad. But our launch wasn't great, but it was good enough to stay just about ahead, and we give him a bit of space on the apex. So we've kept the lead, which is exactly what we wanted to do. And now the focus is on trying to just stay there for as long as possible. I expected Bankai to be able to pass me pretty easily once the DRS was opened, as you become a bit of a sitting duck at the front of a train. I've got much lower wings than most people. Can't remember exactly what they were, but it was maybe like 4.6 and everyone else is running like 4.8 or something, which is quite a bit of straight line speed difference. But when DRS is activated, there's still not much I can do. Just trying to make sure I use as little battery as possible, as it's going to be pretty crucial at some later stages in the race to try and get past people if necessary. Of course, very easy to get warnings here as well, and we've just avoided getting one out of the final corner as we set the fastest lap of the race, which is basically just for passing the line first. You can see exiting the first corner on the second lap, he's still right behind us, pretty much the same gap as he was out of turn 1 on lap 1. But it's far enough behind that we don't need to worry about defending. You can see we are pulling a little bit away from GTX. He's maybe got 7 tenths to him already. So if we can just get another 3 tenths through this final sector, then we'll be able to just be me and Bankai driving away hopefully, with GTX, Sansan, Sneaky battling out behind us for third. But unfortunately it doesn't look like we're going to be able to, as the gap shrinks a little bit, Bankai being affected by the dirty air. penultimate corner for the second time. Still managed to keep it clean and stable through there. Just what it's all about at this point, not getting any warnings, not upsetting your rhythm. As we set the fastest lap again, which this time was a legitimate one, which means we're the fastest on track at the moment, but DRS is now activated and we're now going to become one of the slowest cars on track, as everyone else has the benefit of DRS. Skipping ahead slightly as we begin lap 4. Our pace is still pretty strong, pretty consistent as well. Sansan actually just stolen the fastest lap from us, but we were only about a tenth off of that. Bankai, you can see, is still very close behind us, but he's not going to be close enough to challenge into turn 3, is he? He does actually chuck it up the inside a little bit, so we go deep, give him the space on the apex, and having the outside line here is great. We're going to have the drive, but we're not going to have the DRS. And we pretty much are going to concede the position. You see, we stop burning our overtake. He's got the inside for this corner here, turn 4, so there's not much we can do to fight it. Think about sticking it around the outside, but the position was gone. And now we need to make sure that we don't stay on the back foot and we don't fall to GTX and Sansan and Sneaky as well. We want to stay right behind him as we get our first corner cutting warning on lap 7, and a bit squirmish on the exit as well. So the race is still going pretty well for us. We just need to watch those warnings, make sure you don't get any more, because if you get a second, it becomes very tough to drive on the limit, as you're always going to be scared of getting another. Lap 9 now. Still following Banco, but you can see he pulls to the inside. And he's going to pit. We notice he goes a bit deep, so we have to sort of avoid him, and luckily we don't get a warning for that. But he pits on lap 9, which is a very good sign for us. He's not going to be able to take mediums that far, so he's definitely not going to be on what I would consider the best strategy. If he goes for hards, we're probably going to be better off. As you see, GTX is going to go around our outside into turn 3. We've actually gone quite deep, but we still give him the space, and now it's a drag race to turn 4, but we've got a little bit of a problem exiting that corner. But we are going to have the DRS on him instead of him on us, so we chuck it down the inside, and again we go a bit deep, which allows him to have the cut back. Side by side still, I'm searching for that red arrow, but I can't see it. Still side by side through the long left, but we managed to stay in the lead just about through the chicane. And now he's going to come under pressure from Sansan behind him, who's looking very racy, very quick at this point. It actually goes side by side. We have to just carry on, continue with our corner and focus on what's ahead of us rather than behind. But they're side by side through the final corner. I think they're still side by side all the way down this straight, heading into turn 1 as well. So it'll be interesting to see who exits in the lead, and it looks like it's Sansan, who actually has a 3-second penalty at this point of the race, so that's a big advantage to all the cars around him. I believe they're probably still battling behind us, are they? As again we lose a bit of traction on the exit there. Now it's turn 4, they're still side by side behind us. And Sansan manages to stay ahead. But as we were saying, Bankai probably going for the hards. If he's going for the 2-stop, I think probably got him covered on that one. It's not the best option, but if he's gone for the hards, it'll be a bit closer, but the tyre advantage of the mediums should still be better. It just depends on how big an undercut he gets. As we've come into the pits, pretty much a perfect pit entry, to be honest. And we exit in about 7th place. A very cautious pit exit there. Didn't want to get any damage on the wall, but we've actually come out about 3 seconds behind Bankai, who is on the hard tyres, but also has a 3-second penalty. So we've actually exited ahead of him, essentially. And the gap should come down pretty quickly. Fresh mediums compared to hard tyres should have a big advantage. So we've just got to focus on cutting down that gap as quick as we can. And now behind Tim, who is on 18 lap old medium tyres, so we're gonna have to get past him, whilst GTX also, I think, has a little bit of a think about getting past us, but thinks better of it. And we're almost in the DRS of Bankai now, after just a couple laps of trying to catch. So it feels like the battle is now becoming between me, GTX, Sansan, Sneaky Ninja, who was I think at the back of our little pack in the first stint. You can't really see a way that Bankai is gonna win from here with the tyre advantage that we've got. And also worth noting that GTX also has 3 seconds, Bankai has 3 seconds, as I've mentioned previously, so as long as we can keep it clean, it's gonna be pretty tough for us to... It'd have to be a bottle job to let the win slip from here, I think, based on the penalties around and the fact that there's no reason we're going to fall off from anyone. Now, lap 20, our teammate is maybe doing us a bit of a favour here and holding Bankai up before he pits for softs, which actually won't be for a while. But Bankai was thinking about going for a move in the penultimate corner, thought better of it, but we're now right behind him, exiting the final corner to start lap 21. GTX is still right behind us, of course, keeping us company. Sansan just behind him. Taking the esports line into turn 1 as always. As we are, of course, esports legends. Bankai, I think, made the mistake there of getting past him before turn 1, which gives him the DRS. And Olav's actually moved over and put him in the wall. So that's gifted us the lead. We've squeezed our teammate, which I don't think he'll be too fussed about. Just wanted to get through him there as quick as possible, and GTX, at the first time of asking, is going to go up our inside. Is he going to get the move done? He's still there on our inside as we hang it around the outside, and again it's a drag race to turn 5. This time he's quite far ahead. We are still there, but he's got the momentum around the outside and taken the position from us just as we took the lead. He takes it from us, and yeah, a bit crazy that our teammate there, I promise I did not tell him to do that, but he's done us a bit of a favour there by knocking Bankai out the way, making the overtake easier than it probably would have been. I can confirm, I didn't know, but Bankai actually didn't have any damage from this. He managed to miraculously keep out the wall somehow, which is good, I guess. It would have been nice for him to have the lead and we have to take it from him. Would have been a bit more exciting. But Sansan actually, so he's going to go up our inside here. We brake as late as we can, give him the track on the inside, and we've got a great launch, almost like slingshot out of that corner. And the outside is a lot better, and he sort of backs off into this one. Maybe doesn't have the battery power for it. So exiting turn 1 on lap 23. You see pretty much exactly the same gaps between us, and Sansan again is right behind us into turn 3, chucks up her inside, goes very deep, almost wipes out GTX. But that's a very nice move from him, didn't even give us a chance to hang it around the outside. Got the move done, very nicely done by him. But of course we are still net lead, but penalties are very easy to get, so you never know if I'm going to get one by the end and then be in a net third. And who knows if these guys have one that they can get removed. So I was a bit worried about Sansan's pace. I felt like I could keep up with GTX pretty comfortably through the race, but Sansan, if he got past, felt a lot quicker than maybe both of us at this point. So I was worried that if he got past, he'd pull away and get maybe that 3-second gap that he needs. As you see, GTX is a bit sloppy coming out of turn 1 and gets passed by Sansan, and we're actually going to burn a lot of our battery alongside the DRS to get up his inside into turn 3. Leaving the space on the exit, and we're actually a lot smoother on the power than we were last time we were on the inside here, exiting the corner. And again, we're in a little bit of a drag race with GTX as we're on the inside here for turn 4, and another drag race to turn 5. Still side by side, and he's actually sort of squeezed us there on the entry to the corner. That felt a lot more dramatic at the time. It felt a lot more dramatic than it looked. But I was very worried that I was going to be punted off into a wall then. Luckily, it's all come out clean. other than maybe my underwear. But lap 27 now, and still we're in a three-way fight. Some of you might be wondering, where's Sneaky Ninja? He was in this fight. He got brake checked by someone and died a very, very excruciating death in a race where he had no penalties at this point, so it was probably thinking that he might have been able to challenge for the win, as Sansan gets it all wrong. And I'm sorry, but that is a quality move by us, very opportunistic. I felt very nice at the time. I didn't really know what was happening. I just thought, oh, there's a gap, I'll just go for it. And we take second from GTX, who was caught out by Sansan going a bit deep in turn 3. So, position's changing pretty much every few laps here. It's very hard to tell who's going to end the race in first and second. We're doing a good job of saving up our battery and deciding now is the time to deploy it. 6 laps to go. I'm going to chuck it up the inside of Sansan into turn 3, get it stopped nicely. He's not there on the exit, so we go ahead and take the outside. And we've actually got a bit of a decent cushion, so we don't need to worry about him getting back past us. At least not into this DRS, into this corner. And so penalties all the way behind us gives me a lot of confidence that the win is pretty much in our hands now. It's going to be hard for us to bottle it from here, but we do have, I think, 2 warnings at this point. So we are having to drive as if this is for the lead, because we could easily get a warning out of turn 1 or through the penultimate corner at any point. As we've had to turn 3 again, GTX very close behind us. All the action happening as you'd expect in turn 3 to turn 4 area. He's on the inside again, which should give us a good launch compared to him, but he has actually got enough power with that DRS to get up our inside again, and we just slot him behind. Didn't really hook up the switchback or cutback or whatever we want to call it well there, so GTX takes the lead from us. And even if I was on the final lap without penalties, I'd still want to get past and finish the race in the lead. It feels a lot cleaner. Feels a lot more satisfying to do it, and GTX actually loses traction out of turn 3, which gives us a good run on him, but we've decided to save up our battery and not go for the move this time. Sansan, it's worth noting, has fallen back, and GTX makes another mistake. We're going to take the lead from him. He just gives us the lead there. I half thought this might have been intentional to try and have the DRS on the final lap, but I'm still going to take it. It's just a two-way fight for the lead now between me and GTX. Sansan's gone, Bankai's gone. So on the final lap, all we've got to do is keep it ahead and keep it clean, no warnings. Turn 1, as always, we take it nicely on the apex, but we're not very good on the exit for some reason. I don't know why. GTX also seem to have a bit of a moment, so that saves us into turn 3, and we do also have quite a bit of battery to burn. But we've made a mistake, we've locked up. That is the first time I think we've messed up that corner all race, and we've done it on the last lap. Is GTX going to think about a move? Is he going to be alongside enough? We give him the space on the inside. We've got the outside line out of turn 4. Again, it's a drag race to turn 5, but we keep it ahead. We do still go defensive in case he thinks about it, but we're going to keep the lead here, and this is single file traffic through this chicane. But if he has enough battery, he might be able to chuck it up our inside into the penultimate corner, but he's far enough behind, and we're going to round the penultimate corner comfortably in first place, the final corner comfortably in first place, and finish the race. A wiggle of excitement as we take the first win of the season in the first race and set our championship hopes off brilliantly. You see, we're one of 2 drivers to finish without penalties, and it didn't actually make a difference here for us, but it does give you the confidence to be able to carry on pushing. GTX Sansan pushed very hard that race. Bankai was unfortunate. Sneaky, of course, unfortunate as well, and then Silva finishing in 14th, which is to be expected.